Just like talking about that story makes me sweat because I just truly remember being in that studio, like so stressed that I was gonna like fall on my face, like pee my pants, vomit, I don't know. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Goldie and this is the Lazy Ballerina Club. I just thought for today's video I would sit down and give you another one of my ballet story times. These are some of my favorite videos to film because I just get to talk with you and gossip about all of my horror stories as a ballet dancer. In today's story time, I'm going to be talking about my first day as a professional ballet dancer. So like always, make sure you are subscribed down below, like this video, and let's get into it. Before I became an actual professional ballet dancer with my second company contract, I really had no idea what to expect on that first day of work. And before sitting down to do this video today, I was thinking about that time in my life when I was a student and now all of a sudden I was a professional dancer, expected to like go into work and know what I was doing. Spoiler alert, I really had no idea what I was doing on that first day of work. I think there is a major difference from a student to a professional dancer. Just the relationship between teacher and director is a very big difference. You're all of a sudden expected to be this professional, put together dancer in the studio, and you are on payroll, so you are actually getting paid for the stuff that you do in the studio. So there's already that added level of stress and expectation that you might not necessarily have had in your student classes, at your professional ballet school, local studio, wherever you were at before that first professional contract. If you are new to my channel, I have been a professional ballet dancer for 6 years. I grew up in Los Angeles, and the year before I became an actual professional dancer with my second company contract, I moved away to train at the Washington Ballet School in Washington, D.C. for a year of a little more intense training before I was ready to actually audition for companies. And already that jump from training at my local studio that I've been at my entire life to moving across the country and being in like a professional year-round school is already a big jump. You're with dancers from all over the world, the expectation is higher, your directors, your teachers at that year-round school are getting to know you away from home, you are living in your own apartment, you are already out of your comfort zone, but there is still that student-like cushion room that you don't get when you become a professional ballet dancer. Long story short, I am at the Washington Ballet School for a year, and then it was time to audition for companies, and I've made a whole video about my first ballet company audition and where I actually got this contract that I'm talking about today, so I will link that here for you to watch later. But once I auditioned for companies and got that second company contract, I picked up and I moved again to Columbus, Ohio, where I started my first year as a second company dancer. I don't know about you, but your entire life as a ballet student, if you are tracking to become a professional dancer, you're obviously thinking about what that day will actually look like when it is time to be a professional ballet dancer. I really had no idea what to expect. I obviously knew that we were gonna have class and then rehearsal, and I had to just like survive that first day, but I had no idea what they were going to ask me when I walked into the door the first day of work, and I was not disappointed with the level of stress that I felt that first day. I get to Columbus, Ohio. I am with the 5 other dancers that were also in the second company with me, and it was time to go into work. I remember we had class with the director that first day. So that was kind of like the first obstacle that I had to get through before we got into our normal rehearsal day. Whether you are in a ballet company or you're just trying out a new ballet studio, anytime you are taking a new class from a new teacher or a new director, you're gonna be a little nervous and you're gonna be a little stressed. I just remember walking into that first day of work with like so much adrenaline and so much like anxiety of the unknown, along with the stress and anxiety of just like getting through the class like on your own, like thinking about everything that you have to do. There's also a room of like 30 dancers in that company that have done this for years and years and years before you even did like one professional ballet class. Walking into the studio with like 30 veterans in the company that are just like already annoyed by your presence can just like take any confidence that you've like mustered up inside of you and just like press the delete button, and you are truly just like shaken in your boots. Another thing that you might not know about like ballet culture, your bar spots are very important on that first day of work. Ballet dancers tend to be very territorial, and the unspoken rule about the bar spots is a very big deal inside of a ballet company. The veterans in the company typically have their bar spots that they have been going to for years and years and years that they love, and there's this like hierarchy that you have to follow. And if you are this new dancer walking into the studio and you expect to just like grab the bar spot right in front of the mirror, things are not gonna go as well as you might have planned, because people are gonna hate you like immediately. That might sound like the most ridiculous thing on the face of the planet, and it really is the most ridiculous thing. Like if you really think about it, it's a bar spot and life goes on and everything's fine. When I was in a company and I finally gained a little bit of seniority in that company, I took my bar spot very seriously as well. It's kind of just like a respect thing. So when you are a new second company member or even a new company member, finding that bar spot on the first day is enough to like make you want to vomit inside, because you're already stressed and you're already nervous. I get through the class. I really have like no memory of that class. The only thing that I was thinking about the whole time was just like, Goldie, whatever you do, do not fall. Do not make a fool out of yourself. Like just get through it and just like move on with your day. The day really got good after class when we were going into our rehearsals. Guys, I will never forget this first rehearsal for as long as I will live. It was honestly like the best, worst day of my professional career. The first rehearsal of my professional ballet career was a Don Q rehearsal. If you don't know what Don Q is, it's the cute little one with the fan, key tree, it's spicy. The company women were learning the variation and the coda, and then the company men were learning their variation and coda in the other room. And that was the first rehearsal of the day. The entire time, we were kind of like in the back of the rehearsal. The company women were working with the director, and we were kind of just like learning the material because we were in the room, but we really weren't expecting to like do anything during that rehearsal. But we were very, very mistaken. The company women just learned the variation, and they were doing the coda, which is 32 fuentes, just like a cute little coda. The entire rehearsal, the director really didn't pay any attention to us. He was completely focused on the company women because obviously they were the ones that were going to be performing it, and we were kind of just like gaining experience. That sweet director looked at us and asked us to do the variation and coda one by one as the company women watched us do those variations and that coda one by one, which I mean was so unnecessary looking back. And the thought of even like doing anything that first day at work was too much to handle, and now he expects us to like whip out 32 fuentes out of nowhere. When you are in that rehearsal with that director and those company women are like staring you down and don't even acknowledge your presence, and you are asked to dance in front of everyone, any confidence that you like somehow had in that moment immediately disappears, and you are just trying not to like shit your pants or shit your tutu in our situation. The first girl goes, she survives. The second girl goes, she does it great. And then I go, and I really have no memory of like whether or not I finished the variation or I was able to do the 32 fouettes. I just was like surviving. I felt like I was like treading water, like looking at the clock, just thinking, all I have to do is get through this and then we can move on and like pretend that never happened. But here's the thing that these sweet little directors always love to do to their dancers. They love to just test us. That director knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to see if we were able to like rise to the occasion, or we were nervous and we wouldn't be able to dance in front of everyone. I mean, I get it. I get why these directors do that, but I also feel like it's the most unnecessary thing that has ever happened in the planet. These directors just want to see us struggle. We survive the rehearsal, we do our 32 fouettes, we do the variation, and I really just don't have any more memories after that one rehearsal because it was just so nerve-wracking and stressful, and I just feel like that is like the perfect first day in a professional ballet company. Like, there was no time wasted. There was no like icebreakers of like, get to know you, like this is me in the studio, like let's all be one big happy family. It was kind of like you're either gonna sink or swim, and like the work is starting now in this moment. I guess that is the lesson of this video today. Once you become that professional level, that expectation goes from like a little simmer from what you had at your student life, and it's just like through the roof in your professional environment. You're obviously getting paid. You are working with a professional company with those veteran dancers that have been there for like 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, and they don't really have time to like babysit those new second company dancers. And I know that sounds like really harsh and like cutthroat, but unfortunately, that is the reality of being in a ballet company. Honestly, when you get into a company and you are like 25, 26, 27, 30, they really didn't have time for us like second company members to like mess up their day and their schedule. Like, there's really no patience in the studio when it comes to like learning choreography or running a variation in coda when the director asks you. So if you've ever wondered what the first day in a professional company actually looks like, that is your little window into the world of the realities of being in a professional ballet company. And this was just my experience. This was just my first day in a professional company. I hope you enjoyed, and if you are still trying to pursue a career in ballet, I hope I didn't scare you off. And you gotta start somewhere, and we really started with like worst case scenario. But that is it for today's video. I love doing these story times. I could give you about 1 million of these story times, so leave a comment down below and let me know if you like these videos, if you want more of these, and I would be happy to bring them to you. And oh, just like talking about that story makes me sweat because I just truly remember being in that studio, like so stressed that I was gonna like fall on my face, like pee my pants, vomit, I don't know. I really didn't know what was gonna happen, but it just made me stronger in the long run. So like always, make sure you are subscribed if you are not already. Like this video, and I will see you later. Bye guys!